Hey everyone, it's Marla. Welcome back to Twinstrology. Thanks for joining me for this month's Twin Flame collective reading for the month of December. We didn't get a reading last month. I'm sorry I didn't get around to it. So it'll be interesting to see what's happening and what comes up through the cards and my channeling. Before we get to that, a little bit of a shameless plug because it is December. It is gift giving time. And this is my deck, the Intuit Twin Flame Oracle, that I'm going to be using in this reading. It is a primary deck that I use now, and even all my private readings, I use this deck. It's actually a lot more versatile than you would think because it's a twin flame oracle, but I use this deck all the time just for talking to my higher self even, or just tuning into the energy. So there is a discount link below, and it's actually a pretty good price right now at the Intuit store. And then you can get an extra 10% off. That is for US customers. Unfortunately, if you are outside the US, you have to purchase through our Etsy store. And then the discount link just doesn't work on Etsy. And that's because of the shipping and duty issues and everything. So I apologize for that. But check that out at either store, either the Intuit store or the Etsy store. Also, if you are a tarot reader yourself and you have your own channel and you use the Intuit Twin Flame Oracle, you can get a special link in which you can earn a percentage of all sales that come through your channel through that link, which is a pretty good deal. It's free to sign up and there is no minimum. So there's no reason not to sign up, especially if you're already using the Intuit Twin Flame deck. Okay, enough of that. Let's get into the reading. Okay, so the overall energy from our higher self, we actually have I'm going to start with the question oracle. And the question is there something important this person isn't telling me right now? So actually the message coming in is that there's something that we don't know. It's not actually like the other person isn't telling us something in this case. It's our higher self is saying there's something that we don't know. So the central card is, I know in my heart we'll be together one day, and that helps me trust. Let's keep working on us. So the central theme coming in, right? As I usually say, this is the theme that's coming down from the higher spiritual energies and being anchored. It's like you are going to be together one day. So you have to trust. That is what our higher self is wanting us to focus on. So we have these two people here. The man's on the phone, the woman's looking at him, and it's almost like he's a little bit oblivious, but she's needing to trust that even though she's not getting the feedback from him, she needs to trust that they're going to be together. She needs to trust basically what is going on in her heart. These two people are at work too. So if you work with your twin, there might be some added meaning to that as well. But so I pulled a couple cards here about what is it exactly we don't know, because with this card saying that I know in my heart we'll be together someday, we have to trust. It's like, okay, well, why are we having to trust? And I pulled this card. This is from the Zodiac 108, which is also an Intuit deck. And you could also use your 10% discount on this deck. So there's a temporary setback that's coming. And if you recall in one of my recent videos, I talked about the timelines, that what I was getting at the beginning of the year was that we were going to be in a slightly better place. And the timelines are a little bit slower than what were anticipated. So it's not like the timelines are not happening, but there's some kind of setback happening. And it doesn't really have to do with one person or the other person, but it has to do with the energy, because I've got this thunderstorm. So there's a big energy shift that's happening. in December and perhaps I feel into January too. I'll be honest, I haven't had time to look too far ahead at the energy of what's coming up. I know Mercury rather is going retrograde at the end of December. So you'll have to stay tuned, but I'm sure I'll be talking about this shift. When I asked about it, all I got was it's happening soon. Okay, so we have to wait for some kind of energy to move through. What I'm getting is that it's a clearing. It's a clearing, and it may be a little bit of a challenge, more so because it's probably going to be perhaps a little bit triggering. But what I'm getting is that after this energy shift, there's going to be some forward movement on things that we've been actually trying to create. Sorry, I took some notes before of what I was getting. So there's forward movement regarding unresolved issues that have been subconsciously blocking us. So I'm going to say that what the challenge is there's this subconscious energy that's going to be seen. Now, we've been getting this a lot since Mars has been retrograde, because it's like the masculine energy during Mars retrograde steps back. Remember, that's the protector energy. And when that energy steps back, it allows the feminine energy to come forward. So there's stronger intuition, there's stronger intuitive hits, and you're more in tune with your feelings. And because of all that, a lot of subconscious emotions have been able to be seen, because that Mars energy is not keeping them hidden, because remember that the protector doesn't want us to be heard. So we subconsciously block these things. So that is where I feel the shift is going to be taking place. But like I said, once you get through that, it's going to be so helpful. And we already have, personally, I've had several kind of rounds where I've had these significant realizations of subconscious things that I wasn't able to fully see, or I wasn't ready to kind of look at. So I know from talking to people, you're having those experiences as well. Now, the song for the overall energy is The Long and Winding Road from the Beatles. So again, we have this energy of you got to have patience because something is taking time here. But let's read a little bit of the lyrics if you don't know this song. The long and winding road that leads to your door will never disappear. I've seen that road before. It always leads me here, leads me to your door. The wild and windy night that the rain washed away has left a pool of tears, crying for the day. Why leave me standing here? Let me know the way. Many times I've been alone, and many times I've cried. Anyway, you'll never know the many ways I've tried, and still they lead me back to the long and winding road. So we can see from the lyrics it's talking about, first of all, the wind and the rain, and we've got this thunderstorm card, which is, it's kind of funny because thunderstorms can literally block the road with down trees and things. So I wonder if there'll be some kind of significant weather for some people. Hopefully where I live, it's not going to be another snowstorm, but that's a possibility for the Northeast. But yeah, crying, a pool of tears. I've felt alone. Many times I've cried. So I think we can kind of get the idea here that there's a clearing that's going to be happening. But what's positive is I long for your kisses and your touch. So there is this kind of magnetic energy too. And again, with that lightning card, even though that can bring a challenge, that's electricity, it's magnetism, it's passion, but something that just like can strike out of the blue. So there is at the same time this pull. And the Zodiac 108 they've given me is tools. So has what it takes, fix it, masculinity, get shit done, well prepared. So I feel like we have to, as I've said before, it's a big year for shifts in union. A lot of people are making progress in their union. And going into 2023, I see significant progress next year as well. So with this card, this is a card that is very physical related. Maybe I should say material, because it's like materializing the connection. And spirit is saying we've got to have the tools, either the right tools to attract this energy. So the clearing of the subconscious patterns, or we have to have the tools to actually work through the reconnection or the deepening of the connection. There's like a piece that we're missing, you could say. And this shift is going to help us gather that piece of the puzzle that we still need. So the song for what's positive in Twin Flame Connections is a song called Lay It on the Line by Triumph. And probably a lot of you won't know this song, but I bet some of my Canadian viewers will know it. And the lyrics go, I'm tired of playing foolish games. I'm tired of all your lies making me insane. I don't ask for much. The truth will do just fine. Won't you lay it on the line? Lay it on the line. Don't waste my time. You've got no right to make me wait. You better talk, girl, before it gets too late. I never ever thought you could be so unkind. Won't you lay it on the line? So, we have those lyrics, but also just going by the title, Lay It on the Line. Like, I feel what's positive is that a point coming up in the future, it's going to be laid on the line. So that's why we have this card. I know in my heart we'll be together one day, and that helps me trust, because the higher self is saying, don't give up. You got to have patience through this, because at some point in the future, things are going to get laid on the line. And that could also be what this card is representing, happening soon. Like there's some change happening soon. What challenges unions is when I let myself go deeper into thoughts of you, I can feel my heart opening. So that's the challenge, we could say, is that we are having this heart opening energy coming in, or we're trying to let go of something, or both. We're trying to let go to allow the heart to open another layer. And that is in some way going to be a challenge, because obviously we have to clear something. And the card from the Zodiac is slingshot. Tension, strain, anxiety, pressure, but also set into motion, change, letting go. So it's like you got to take the good and the bad. There might be some tension, but it's the tensions that's going to set things in forward motion. Now, the song that I got for the challenge is Them Heavy People by Kate Bush. They arrive at an inconvenient time. I was hiding in a room in my mind. They made me look at myself. I saw it well. I'd shut the people out of my life. So now I take the opportunities, wonderful teachers ready to teach me. I must work on my mind, for now I realize every one of us has a heaven inside. Them heavy people hit me in the soft spot. Them heavy people help me, rolling the ball to me. They open doorways I thought were shut for good. They read me, uh, gird. I always have a hard time saying this. Gurgift and Jesu. They build up my body, break me emotionally. It's nearly killing me, but what a lovely feeling. Okay, so them heavy people means that there's going to be triggers coming from other people. So maybe them heavy people could be your twin. It could be another, I want to say soulmate, but it doesn't have to be like a romantic soulmate. It could just be someone in your soul family. And it could be the karmic people that are around us as well. And I feel for some of you, them heavy people is going to relate to the karmic partner, because I feel like that's the roadblock. Because at the beginning of the year, the message that I got from my guides was that the karmic relationships were done this year. But as we come into the end of the year, for a lot of people, they're still clinging to their the partners that they're with right now, even though those relationships are pretty dead. Okay. And we have this slingshot. So there could be tension, strain, anxiety that is getting put on relationships. And I'm going to go a step further and say relationships that really aren't great for us, or that there's something that needs to be examined. So it's like maybe something you're in denial about, and the other person triggers it. And this could be setting into motion some kind of change. But, you know, this song is about people that make us look at things differently, people that change us. Doesn't have to be they change us because it's a good way, but in fact, just by the lyrics, them heavy people hit me in the soft spot. It's like you're learning something, you're learning some kind of lesson from someone else, and you can resist it or you can be grateful for it. So let's talk about the divine feminine and what's going on with the divine feminine. So the question oracle is, what skills should I develop or leverage to move forward in my career or mission? So this is the question oracle. This is actually another Intuit deck, and I wrote a lot of the questions for this deck. So if you like my style, that might be another deck that you want to check into, but I'm not sure. It might be sold out right now, actually. Or it may not be in stock yet, but it could be soon. Anyways, so this is an important area that the feminine is leveraging, and that is missions are up leveling and increasing. So if you have not really found your mission yet or your purpose, you could be getting some clues about that. If you already are on your mission, or you feel like you're on your mission, and it doesn't have to be like something spiritual, it could just be that like a job that you love, but something is changing in regards to that. And why this is changing for the feminine is because our inner power has been upgraded. And that is because Mars retrograde, letting the divine feminine energy come more forward. And like I said, having us look at these subconscious things, it's having us look at where we have been disempowering ourselves or where we have felt undeserving. And we're able to shift this now. And this energy that is coming in, I feel is definitely going to help with that. Again, I'm seeing this in a lot of readings that I'm doing as well, that the divine feminine is focusing on something about their career or mission at this time. So what the divine feminine is healing is, I want to hold you in my arms and feel our bodies unite as one. So I feel like a lot of this energy that's coming in, what's positive, is also related to the feminine's healing. So the first thing that I'm getting is the feminine. The feminine is like, enough already. Like, it's been, for some people, 5, 10, 15, 20 years that they've had this. I know in my heart we're going to be together one day, but it's like you're standing there on the platform of the train station ready to move forward, but the other person isn't showing up. However, that's not really accurate, because what we're not seeing is that we have had these subconscious patterns that we have needed to clear, and that we have also been creating these roadblocks to union, because we have also not been able to deal with the subconscious. And it's been divine time. The reason that the divine feminine is able to access more of this is because the divine masculine is letting go. So it's like our inner masculine is now allowing access to this. So like, you're always working together, and whatever's going on externally is also going on within us. So I had 2 cards come out for how this is showing up in our reality. And the first one is, the next solstice or equinox will bring an important shift for us. So I am pretty confident in saying that this energy that they're talking about, that we can't see coming, is going to happen around the winter solstice, winter solstice if you're in the northern hemisphere, summer solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere. Could be light codes coming in as well. And when I ask, because this card does say, draw another card to get an idea of what the shift is going to be. And I got, there are messages being exchanged through music and movies. Listen carefully and trust what you hear. So there is this deepening connection to your higher self or to source, because you're getting clearer message. And one of the things that's happening with this Mars retrograde and the inner rebalancing of the masculine and feminine is our psychic abilities are increasing. So that's another reason why mission, our skills that relate to our career or our mission is expanding, is because our intuition is expanding. And we are getting access perhaps to things that we haven't gotten before. This card also came out with the solstice card. I'm seeing synchronicities like your name or 1111 and working out what they mean. So for how this is showing up, we had 1111. But the synchronicities card is very similar to there are messages being exchanged, because that is a type of synchronicity. But the important thing about this card is this arrow, which is like the synchronicities are moving us forward. And of course, the 11 too. So watch, like really pay attention to the things that are going on around you, because spirit is definitely going to be talking about, or talking to us rather, about what we need to do here. I got this card as well for the feminine, what she's healing, water bearer. This is the Aquarian energy. Communication, compassion, alleviate suffering, benefactor, humane, helpful, ethical. So this is like the light worker energy, this card. That's when it shows up the most, when it's saying like It's time for you to be a light worker and bring that humanitarian energy. And that's why the mission's being activated. What is being transformed for the feminine is because of you. I'm starting to see what's really important in life. And this is a mission card. And, you know, our twin activates us on our mission. They inspire us. You know, that is something that I hear almost from every single twin I've worked with is like their twin has inspired them to step out of their comfort zone and to start doing things that they never thought possible. And I also feel like our higher self is saying, like, yes, this is nice. This is nice, but this is what's important. Being the light, bringing the energy, bringing the change. That is the most important thing that we can do right now. And this card of how it's showing up was clarified with universe. So very much, you know, bringing the light, source, infinite, enduring, awakening, interconnected, higher perspective, all that is law of one. So I'm sure you guys have noticed as well that a lot of people are waking up now. A lot of people. And we are needed more than ever to bring the light and to help people and to guide people and to give people confirmation, I feel, for what they're going through. A lot of people are going to be waking up to sacred relationships as well, and the balance of the masculine and feminine energies. So the song that the feminine wants to give to the masculine is "What Have I Done to Deserve This" by the Pet Shop Boys and Dusty Springfield. I brought you drinks, I brought you flowers, I read you books and talked for hours. Every day, so many drinks, so many pretty flowers. So tell me, what have I done to deserve this? Since you went away, I've been hanging around. I've been wondering why I'm feeling down. You went away, it should make me feel better, but I don't know. How am I going to get through? How am I going to get through? So we can see that by some of these cards, there's likely to be like abandonment triggers coming up or frustration with the partner. Now, one of the things that I'm seeing that's changing though is that energy of anger for the feminine is clearing. So I feel like if things are coming up, it's probably going to be some kind of last kind of push for that energy to help us clear it. I want to say Chiron is going direct as well in December. Yeah, on the 23rd. So the winter solstice is the 21st, and on the 23rd we have a new moon in Capricorn, and Chiron is going direct. So with Chiron shifting later on in the month, that could be activating. And you know, if you're in separation from your person, the holidays tend to be a time that can be very triggering as well, especially if you are somewhere and you don't have family around you, or you find yourself alone. You know, the last couple years we've been in that kind of not being able to associate with people because of things going on, and I'm sure that was very triggering for people. So I mean, certainly could be holiday related as well. So let's talk about the masculine. What the masculine is healing. Just like you, I'm always doing some form of mission. My energy and wisdom supports those around me. So, you know, why our mission is expanding, as I've said. I think is if I repeat myself during these readings, it's because I'm really just kind of going with what's coming through and I don't remember what I said a moment ago. It's the masculine is changing their view of mission, and that's what's changing it for the feminine. So it's very much connected. Now, for the masculine, I think the masculine are seeing themselves with a new perspective. They definitely are more connected than ever to their wisdom. Wisdom is different than knowledge. Wisdom comes from our knowing, our inner knowing. And the masculine have shifted so much this year. Their intuition has really increased, and that's increased this wisdom. They're listening to their higher self more. And so, like, just in their everyday life, for example, they're much more tuned in. And I wouldn't be surprised if people around them weren't seeing like a change in them, seeing this kind of new perspective that they have. And I feel like there's this perhaps new level of patience as well. And this card also reminds me of this energy. What did I get for the masculine when it comes to this? Maybe I didn't. Oh, this blinders. So it's like they're taking the blinders off. Where they were in denial or restricts clarity, victim mentality, having a narrow focus, that's being changed. Now, I really want you guys to consider how this reading can relate to our own inner energy as well as the energy with your person. Because like this blinders was what I was talking about. Like, because of the masculine being overprotective inside of us, we've all had blinders on. And now we all are getting freed to get some kind of clarity. That's all of us. This is like, you know, because the masculine is embodying more of their strong feminine, and the feminine is embodying more of their strong masculine. I want to say like the more divine aspects of the feminine and masculine rather than the patriarchal. And that embodiment takes time. You know, we often say like, well, I'm the divine feminine or I'm the divine masculine, but we are still very much in our egos and we're not fully embodying the divine qualities. But we can say we're working towards the embodiment of the divine qualities. Now, how this is showing up for the masculine is I need to move slowly with this, but trust that I'm moving even when it seems like I'm not. So things are going slower than anticipated. Now, this could be because of the ascension timelines, and we've got that little bit of a speed bump or roadblock because of what's happening with those timelines, or it could just be like the masculine energy within us all, not just projecting that on our partner, but the masculine energy in general is moving a little bit slower. Now, remember, Mars is retrograde as well. So things don't happen swiftly when Mars is retrograde because that's our drive to do things. And never mind. I was going to say something, but never mind. I also got this card still with this. I need to move slowly as well. So fine tune, develops over time, purify, filter, draw out. Okay, so the universe is telling us we've got to be patient because something is going on that's a little bit slower than we anticipated. How this is transforming for the masculine is we are one. Don't let fear get in the way of this truth. So what is maybe going a little bit slower is the masculine working through their fears. And again, I want to say that's the masculine in all of us working through our subconscious fears. I was actually getting some information from my guides this morning about this because I was reading something about how the subconscious mind can, how we need to control it and change our habits as we ascend. And to change the habits in our subconscious mind, it takes time. And every habit that we have is actually stored in our subconscious, like all our programming and bad habits. So to change them, what do they say? It takes 21 days to start a new habit. But think about all the programming and all the habits that we have to break as we're on this ascension process. So we need to slow down a little bit, have trust that we're getting there. We are moving forward. And my higher self has said we're moving forward. Don't go into fear about moving forward. And just recognize that the changes that we're leveraging right now are very important, and that's where our focus needs to be. I should have said the question oracles for the masculine. The first one I got was, what do I need to know about today? And then I got a clarifier, and I got asked a yes or no question and draw a card to see what the answer is. So how I took these for the masculine was actually more about their intuition, that they're working with their intuition. Like maybe they're asking themselves in the morning, well, what do I need to know about today? Maybe some of them are pulling cards. Maybe they're reading their horoscope. Maybe they're studying astrology. You never know what is going on. But as I said, because of the shift within the masculine energies coming in, our inner masculine is all shifting and balancing better with that feminine energy. Now, when I asked about this fear, this we are one, don't let fear get in the way of this truth, what I got was birdcage. And when I asked if they were trying to free themselves from something, I got this card, very likely. And then within a few weeks. So again, this card within a few weeks, it's putting me out at the winter solstice, 12/21. And of course, that's going to be a big gateway because it'll be 12/21/22 or 2/22. For the masculine partner, not only is there just intuition increasing in general, but they are getting information about the connection and about twin flames. And some of them might even be searching about twin flames or reading about twin flames. So they definitely haven't forgotten. So what I was getting about the masculine was that they're breaking through old male templates at this time. Okay. And that is probably the change that they're trying to implement that they need a little bit more time on, especially things that are dealing with worth and self-blame. So that's something we've been talking about for probably at least 6 weeks that the masculine is dealing with kind of guilt and shame. Once again, I'm going to say, remind you, that's within all of us. So all of us are looking at where we feel unworthy, where we blamed ourselves, because that is a subconscious pattern that both twins have been carrying, because it's all about what's going on with the inner masculine. And also it relates to the inner feminine. And it's going back to that patriarchal energy where the patriarch took over control from the matriarchy, and a lot of the feminine energy was then denigrated, written off, and that affected everyone that embodies feminine energy to feel unworthy, because it was like the feminine energy no longer mattered, it no longer counted. Okay, just like the masculine have an inner feminine, and they have to also to heal that energy of not feeling worthy or disowning the feminine parts of themselves. Like, I would say this whole reading, everything I'm talking about, we really have to look at both sides. Even the central card, I know in my heart we'll be together one day. Both twins know they're going to be together one day. There's no doubt about it. No matter what your partner is doing or what they are saying, I think they all know that you guys are going to be together. But for some of them, they've been in perhaps some denial about it. But that is ending with this shift. So the masculine as well is entering into unconditional love, right? That's this heart energy. When I let myself go deeper into thoughts of you, I can feel my heart opening. But this is a little bit of a challenge for them, even with Mars retrograde. And again, it's a challenge for all of us. All of us in some way have been sabotaging the relationship out of fear. Even those that are in union, they still have problems. They still have fears come up. They still can sabotage their relationship. So this is really for everybody. But it's like another layer is coming off where being hurt is worth it. You know, that's this feminine. I see what's important in life. And it's like just sitting around doing nothing because you're afraid to take a risk. That's not important. It's much more important to take the risk, to jump, to just do it, take a chance. Because guess what? You know, we've all been hurt and we're all still here. We all still made it through. And the more that we ascend, the more we clear, the less it hurts, because we have a different perspective. Another piece of this is because we're all becoming more empowered. And when we're more empowered, we don't feel threatened as much by other people. And again, we're more willing to take that chance, to take that risk. So what I got here is that in January and February, there's the clearing of anger, guilt, shame, energy, and entering into more of that forgiveness state that we've been talking about. And what I'm getting from the masculine is, besides they're getting a lot of information about the connection and that they're all working on their ascension, the masculine wants to come back with an apology, and the feminine is really wanting to open the door to communication. So really both masculine and feminine, they're getting on the same page. And so it's only a matter of time before this kind of deeper communication happens. So the song that the masculine wants to send to the feminine is The Secret Marriage by Sting. No earthly church has ever blessed our union. No state has ever granted us permission. No family bond has ever made us two. No company has ever earned commission. No debt was paid, no dowry to be gained. No treaty over borderland or power, no semblance of the world outside remained to stain the beauty of this nuptial hour. The secret marriage vow is never spoken. The secret marriage vow can never be broken. So that's a beautiful song from the masculine that clarifies that they are understanding this connection more than ever, that they're getting more information about this connection, and that they're feeling this pull and this magnetism to the feminine at this time. And I really feel like the masculine, wants to come forward, and that it's just related something to timing of everything, right? Timing is very much at play here. So the first card is, I feel like I don't deserve your love. I'm worried you'll leave me when you see who I really am. So both the masculine and feminine have been working on this. This is a major subconscious pattern that is getting ready to get broken down. And I feel like this is one of the main roadblocks that twins have had to unions, is feeling undeserving. That's what creates the running, and both twins run at different times. Both twins act out in different ways because of that feeling of undeservedness. And so I feel like this is what they're telling us to fix in particular, feeling like we're unworthy. For the masculine, they've been dealing with that guilt and shame. And again, we're all masculine. But also on the feminine side, the feminine's been dealing with abandonment and anger and grief from feeling abandoned and feeling rejected. And certainly when we feel like the other person is rejecting us, we feel like we don't deserve love. But of course, that's a major thing that we have to overcome, because we can't let other people's actions make us feel that we're unworthy. We have to find that worthiness within ourselves. We deserve love just because we exist. We don't, it's not what other people think of us. And that's definitely something that the feminine is changing, is like validation and other people's, what's the word I want to use? Other people's approval. So the card that came out with this was coin toss. So I feel it's like we're ready to take that risk. Remember what I was saying, that the masculine is overcoming their fear of being hurt, and that's allowing them to take a risk. The inner protector is always trying to keep us safe and not wanting us to take risks where we might get hurt. The second card is, I wish I could say what I really feel. Someday I will, but right now I'm afraid to be myself. Well, this is where I feel it's an area where we're ready to take a risk, especially for the divine feminine. Let me say that a different way. The divine feminine is ready to take the mask off in regards to mission and purpose. And it's leveling up, because a lot of you are not going to be afraid anymore it's like you're coming out of the closet in a sense with what you're doing, or maybe even new things that you're going to be doing. Now, for the masculine, I feel like this relates more to interpersonal relationships. And look at this that came out with it, Jack and Diane. Brokenhearted, grief, sadness, let down. It's like we're brokenhearted because we're not saying, again, it's both twins doing this. Both twins have not said everything. They've not fully taken the mask off. Maybe you have with your twin, but have you taken the mask off in every single way? But you can't do anything different than this unless you're willing to take that risk. And this was the other card that came out, 50-50, which is like 50-50 is like, I don't know. What should I do? Should I take the risk? Should I not? It's like not being able to make a decision or not being able to move forward because you don't have that clarity. And it's because that fear can step in and stop you from wanting to just like jump and do something. This is something we've been working on a while, all of us, because part of the ascension process is being able to make a move on things very quickly, not being indecisive about things, not overthinking things, but just saying yes and doing it. And then we have one of us is sad or angry, and it's creating an energetic match and frequency with the other. Stay conscious of this, and if possible, try to help us alleviate. So, okay, this is saying that these subconscious patterns that we've been struggling with, especially the deservedness and the not being authentic, of course, they relate to each other, is shifting. And then this energy that's been going between twins is getting cleared. Like this, one of us is sad or angry. And for a while now, it's been the masculine sad and the feminine's angry. Generalizing. And that has been a roadblock to success. So with the clearing out of these subconscious patterns, we're freeing each other from being stuck in these states. This is really good news. And this is just confirming to me, this reading, that there's some big changes that are coming up ahead for twins in 2023. So what came out with one of us is sad or angry is the Grape card. Fullness, prosperity, juicy, tempting, goodness. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. So bearing fruit and harvest, those are the ones that I want to focus on. Because all this work that we've been doing is really starting to bear fruit now. So now the song for the future is Don't You Forget About Me by Simple Minds. Don't you try and pretend it's my feelings that will win in the end. I won't harm you or touch your defenses, vanities, and securities. Don't you forget about me. I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Going to take you apart. I'll put us back together at heart, baby. As you walk on by, will you call my name or will you walk away? Come on, call my name. So don't think that your person has forgotten about you. But I think what's drawing my attention is I won't harm you or touch your defenses, vanity, and security. So it's like a healing of this, the undeservedness and the not being authentic. That's been like, that's why there's been that separation. We've all been in fear of having to let our defensive down, having to be vulnerable, having our insecurities exposed. And wow, we're making some really big and amazing strides here. So thank you so much for watching. If you want a personal reading, I'll link my website below. Please subscribe if you're new here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. If you leave a comment, that's very helpful to getting my videos out to other people, which is not an easy task on social media platforms. So Thank you so much. Happy December, happy holidays, and I'll see you again soon.